Welcome, we have a new light. Now what Dada did, he switched it to new light.
What was the last one? D.Tron did this.
I like that one.
Okay.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of D.Tron Does It. Of course, I am D.Tron, and I does stuff. And this week, I am literally standing inside my pantry, and I am going to be making an alteration to this pantry. Well, we're going to be making several alterations to the pantry over the next couple of weeks, but the very first one that I'm going to do is replace this old light fixture. It's ugly. As you can see here, it's one of the original light fixtures that came with the home when we built it. Didn't like it when I put it up, but we figured that we would slowly replace them over time, which is what we've been doing. And now this one is going to get replaced with a hanging pendant light, which I thought would be unique because we're also going to replace the pantry door and change it to a frosted door. That way you can see into the pantry from the outside, and then you'll also be able to see the hanging pendant light, which I think will be cool and quite a bit of a change for our kitchen. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you what's inside the box. I got these pendant lights sent to me, so I'll be able to link down in the description where you can go and source these pendant lights if you are interested. And then I'm going to show you how you put it all together. I'll also show you how to adjust the length on the pendant light in case you don't want it to hang down as low as it does with the original length, and then we'll actually install it. I'll show you the installation. Hopefully, if you've made it to this point, you've liked, shared, and subscribed to the channel, and if not, well, you know what? I won't even be mad at you. All right, let me show you what's inside the box. All right, so I actually received two of these, but this is what one looks like when it comes out of the box. It's a pretty small packaging. Once you pull it out, it has a shade for the light. Going to have your mounting equipment, your screws and drywall anchors, and then you have your actual hanging pendant portion. Once you unwrap this, you can see it's like a satin black. It has a mounting plate on the back of it. This is what the actual fixture looks like that you're going to attach the shade to. Inside of my pantry, this is what my old light looks like. It's Now here, I'm just trying to figure out how much length I want to take off of this light to see how far down I want it to hang. I realize that there's probably a few inches that I need to take off this light, so I'll show you guys how to do that. So we're going to start by removing the bracket off the top of this light, and then we're going to remove this connector. That way we can have our wires exposed. You'll need a pretty small screwdriver for this. So then we're going to loosen this screw just below the plate. And what that should allow us to do is move our actual wire up and down. So here I started to move it, and then I measured the length that I wanted from my ceiling to where I wanted the light to hang. And then I just adjusted my light length to there. Once I found just the right length, you go ahead and tighten that screw up again, and that will keep your wire in place. And then you're going to snip the extra. Now, don't snip it too short because you got to make sure that the existing wire can reach the connector. So here I've just got my ground, my black, my white exposed, and then I'm going to place those inside of the connector and just essentially reconnect it the way that it came. Once all three of those are put back into the connector and tightened up, then it's time for us to start removing your existing light switch or existing light fixture. So here I'm taking off mine. This portion is going to be different for everybody, just depending on what kind of light fixture you currently have. Again, these were the original fixtures that came with my house. They're ugly, but they're really large, so they cover that hole underneath. Here I'm just testing to make sure the electricity is off. And then you're just going to disconnect them. You've got a white, a black, and a ground, or at least that's how mine were. Here is the bracket. I actually had to drill those holes at the very end. I had to drill those holes into the bracket because the openings on the original bracket were not wide enough to fit my junction box properly. But once I created those holes, I was able to line up those holes with the junction box and get my mounting bracket installed. you'll just use the screws that come along with the light fixture. Here, I'm taking the white, the black, and the ground, and I am connecting the white, black, and the ground inside of the connector here. It's a little harder to see, so I'm just pointing out on my smaller screen where that's being connected to. But you're just drilling into one side, then you pop it up top, you slide it like a quarter turn to the right, and that will lock it behind the screws, and then you just tighten up the screws, and there you go. As you can see, I'm touching that part of the ceiling. My junction box and the cutout for my junction box wasn't super clean, so I had a little bit that was exposed where the ceiling was damaged. I'm just gonna go back up and fix that. Also, you can see the wire hanging down from the light is a little bent. It's because it was in a box for a long time. Once it sits for a while, gravity will work, and then that wire will become straight.
Look, we have a new light. Now what Dada did, he switched it the new light.
All right, so as my son told you already, we've got a new light. It's pretty easy to install. A couple of things that I want you to note or consider. First, the base on this thing is not super wide, so depends on what kind of light fixture you had there before and what size cutout for your junction box is there. If it's a large opening, you may not be able to use this light because the base may not cover the hole. Another concern is the mounting brackets for this light. They didn't have openings in the space that I need them to get the screws to mount into my junction box, so I needed to create new holes. It didn't impact me a whole lot. Again, I just created new holes in that mounting bracket and there was space enough, but just have to consider again, however wide your junction box is, that bracket may not fit. But as far as the light, the way the light looks in here, I think it looks cool. Right now we have a light bulb in here that glows a little orange. You know what? I'm okay with that because when we put in the frosted door for the pantry, you'll have that a little bit of that glow. My wife already wants to change the light bulb in there to put something that's a little brighter. These pendant lights are versatile. You can put them somewhere like I'm using them in a pantry. You can use them in a bedroom next to your bed if you have lights on the side of your bed, in a closet. I have a light above where my toilet is. We probably could use one of these in there as well. You could change that shade out if you want to change up the look of the light as it hangs. But all in all, I think it's a pretty cool looking light. All right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have questions, comments, all of that, leave it down below. As always, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button, get some alerts, find out when I'm dropping new videos. And if you decide not to, well, I won't even be mad at you. Till next time, guys. Peace.